everyone.
Welcome back to Securish.
I wanted to say that.
Okay, sorry. Let's start again.
I'm leaving that in though.
And scene.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Securish. We've actually done 6 episodes. This is our 6th one. So, go us.
Unagi, some skid roll.
Wow. Yeah, so we're back for another video. Wow. And this week we're going to be talking about
how after 25 years we still trigger each other.
oh my gosh, and what still happens basically when we do.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my mind was just something that happened just now. So we're getting ready to do this video, right? And I have ADHD, so I by default move quickly, and I'm learning to try and slow down. So I slow my body down, slow my mind down. Like, what are you rushing for? So I've got to record another podcast in an hour. So I showered, moisturised because I have to take time to moisturise my skin. No shade, but yeah. So I have to moisturise my skin. And I finished in like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes. So I came out of my room and I was like, hey, you ready to start recording? And Steph was like, I'll be 5 minutes. Mind you, she went in about 25 minutes before me. So the whole process takes about, I don't know, an hour. And I'm like, why are you taking so long? And I felt a bit triggered by that. But I realised that was my old system coming up, because what am I rushing for? There's time for us to record. There's time for me to take a break in between us recording, and then for me to record the other podcast that I need to do. So in those moments, I'm like, what is that trigger? It's not that, it's like how we trigger each other. I don't feel like you're triggering me. I feel like it's still cobwebs, but sometimes it's easier to feel like, oh, you're the cause of my trigger when you're not, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So she didn't actually trigger me. It was more like my conditioning. So then that's a moot point. But I felt triggered in the moment. But then I'm not going to blame my trigger on Sophie. Do you know what I mean? And that's the difference. To not blame the trigger on what the other person is. It's asking ourselves, why am I triggered by this thing?
Yeah.
I haven't worked out yet because we came straight into filming. But I will think of why and question myself at a later date.
Just to clarify, the showering part takes 5 minutes. The creaming my body takes 45 minutes?
Yes, or so. Yep.
And I just like taking time creaming my body, no matter what.
It's a bit of self-care, I guess, that it can be looked at. But when you said that to me, that made me slow down to actually take time to do that myself. But because I have to record, in my mind, it was like, hurry up, why is it taking so long? Because that old part of me is still, it's like trying to rewire a new computer. And again, it's new neurons. We're trying to build new neurons in our mind.
Yeah. And
it takes time. So that was like a trigger, like one. But then, anyway, how do I still trigger you? How do I still trigger you after 25 years? If I even do, because my gosh.
It's so rare now. I don't even know if it's like a trigger, but you know the thing with the questions. I'm like, you know, we had this whole conversation about leading questions. I don't know if that is necessarily an avoidant thing for everyone, but I feel like, I don't know, the way my mind works, and I am also guilty of it. I like direct questions. Yeah. Sophie, can you do X? Sophie, do you want Y? Because then the way my brain processes is like, well, what is this?
Where's your phone?
It's here, babe.
I can't see it.
Oh. Is it here better? Is it on screen?
No. I mean, I don't believe so.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Should we pause so you can...
Please continue. That's perfect.
What was I saying?
Leading question.
The leading questions. Because, again, I don't know if this is an avoidant thing. I think it is. But if someone asks you something like, what's an example? Like, do you think you should do something? Or it's like, it feels like a trick question.
Right.
And in an avoidant mind, when you're trying to keep everything on one level, anything that rocks the bubble inadvertently leads to a shutdown.
You're shouting, by the way, when you have mics on.
I wish
So
there
we're
was a
gonna,
way
you
we
and I are
could-
gonna be like, and I realized that I was also. We both have blocked ears, by the way. So this is why we're louder. Just so
And
you
this
know.
is your block to ring.
And
This
that's
is
your-
my block.
So
to
I'm
ring.
like, yeah, because
Maybe we should sit on
no,
the
this is my good side. I mean, I have no bad sides to be
I was
fair.
about
So
to say,
I
what
was
is your
gonna
bad
say,
side?
I have to correct myself there, baby. But I prefer this side.
I also prefer this
So
side.
we're not moving then.
Okay, so we're just going to be loudly speaking at each other.
And the people apparently,
Okay.
you just have to deal with it. Sorry.
Oh, well. I think...
What is the leading question if people don't know?
So, the way I think about it is this a statement posed as a question rather than a question.
I still do that though.
Sometimes.
'Cause I
Used
did-
to do
I
it way more.
I did it the other day, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like a statement more than a question.
Yeah.
And I had to pull myself. Someone pulled me up about it, and I was like, "Ooh."
Like,
But then I remembered myself. I was like, I didn't actually ask a question. I kind of made a statement.
but I don't think it triggers me as much anymore because I'm not avoidant.
So then does it? Okay, so remember we were talking about how we trigger each other. So, but this is a very difficult topic. Clearly,
It is because, you know, we're not in our insecure attachments anymore.
No.
We're in our secure-ish attachments. But I still think big conversations also trigger my desire to want to shut down. I don't actually shut down anymore,
Okay.
but I still that pathway in my brain still exists.
Yeah.
So if it's like if you say I've done something to upset you or I've done something that's mildly irritated you, my brain automatically goes, oh no, we can't deal with this, shut down. And then Asnai is a beautifully persistent person. You can't get out of that. There's no way to like skirt around it or like wait for time to pass. You have to address it. So there's still that part of my brain that is like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. This is bad. This is wrong. The right thing to do is don't say anything.
But you know what you just said, and I'm just gonna pick up on that. You said that I'm a persistent person, and we have to talk about it now. I'm not like that anymore. As in, sometimes I'm like, let's talk about it later. I won't always say we have to talk about it right now because the uncertainty is what I'm learning to be okay with. So I just wanted to clear that up because I used to
Yeah.
struggle with being like, okay, can we just like fix it now? Because I don't know in my mind. Like there's a fire, like there's war happening, and we're at arms with each other. So I just wanted to pinpoint out. Is in I will now be like, I don't know. Let's talk about it at a later date. Just wanted to point that out because I'm not as like.
I don't mean pressure, but if you're like Sophie, and in my mind I'm like, don't say anything. I also know that is not going to be helpful to elicit a healthy response.
I agree.
From either of us, especially if I'm also in the moment and like, oh, like my shoulders are a bit up. It hasn't happened recently, so I'm really struggling to think about it. But for me, that pathway in my head still exists. I know where the exits are now to get out of that mindset, but that pathway is still there.
I understand. It's funny. It's like how we still trigger each other. I was just triggered a little bit by that. I was like, why is it taking so long? Because I've got this thing to do. But it's like, I was just thinking to myself that in the past, I would have said, we're not recording now. And my whole mood would have changed. I was just thinking about that. So did it actually trigger me? Or again, that's the growth. Because I would have been like, and gotten really like, oh, you did it on purpose. Or thought, do you not want to record then with me? Because why are you taking so long? But also, I know that is your process when you come out of the shower. That is your time to spend time with yourself, and rightly so. So we're able to move past it, and there doesn't need to be a conversation about, are you okay? Because it's just, I recognise that within myself, and I'm still going to reflect on why I'm in a rush still. What's the rush energy about? Is there something else that's on my mind? Is it this actual thing? But I guess that comes with time.
Yeah, but also I think this is an aside, our concept of the passage of time is very different.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it is.
Because I will think it's like, I do this all the time. I don't check my phone to see the time.
Sophie doesn't look at her. She's on her phone constantly. She has this amazing game which she likes to play. I'm like, do you know what time it is? She's like, no. And meanwhile, it's like 12, which has work tomorrow. And she's not looking at the clock one time. I'm like,
No.
How?
Do you think that's just a nice thing? Do you think that's like a ADHD potentially tism thing? Do you think because time will pass and I'm thinking, oh, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. These times it's nearly 6 p.m.
I think that's the ADHD thing. For me personally, I mean, I
Yeah.
can't talk about the autism side because I feel like Sophie might be a bit.
Autistic.
Oh, did that say father?
It did.
Oh,
Moving
yeah.
on.
Oh my gosh! Right, that's okay. So we'll take a beat here, and then we'll go into the power of self-trust and learning to trust your own worth regardless of how others show up. Would you like to leave with that for part 2? It's part the same video.
Oh, okay. Learning to trust your
The
own.
power of self-trust.
Start. I think in terms of triggering, learning to trust yourself is massive.
Oh, the power of self-trust.
Yeah, because if you don't trust yourself, you can't trust anybody else. It goes hand in hand with, like, if you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else?
Yeah, everyone says that saying, and I used to be like, what does that even mean? Oh, I understand it now. I understand it. There's no way we can love anyone else or trust anyone else if we do not first have love for ourselves and trust ourselves in our decision making, in what we accept, in all of those things. I didn't know what that meant at all, and I thought that, like, again, didn't matter like who was like in and out of my life. Like the idea of trusting myself just wasn't a thing, because I used to ask, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do this, or how am I don't know. It was like every decision that I made was based on me asking someone else. If that makes sense. Because I used to ask a lot. I was like, what do you think I should do about, should I go to this thing? Should I not? And it's like, why am I asking someone else about something that I want to do for myself? How do do you want to do it? It's like, it's so uncomfortable actually sitting with yourself and asking yourself these things when you haven't done it ever in life. So to actually begin doing it, it was hard at the beginning. It is sometimes still a bit of a challenge, but it's worth it. Because I'd rather be like, you know what? Once I'm in line with my, like, trusting myself, my intuition is louder than fear is. And when fear has, like, ruled everything, it feels uncomfortable when you're doing the opposite. Wow, excuse me. Because your body is telling you, it's screaming at you like, this is wrong. It feels, it's like your brain, again, our brain is here to protect us. So doing something uncomfortable, like trusting yourself and not asking someone else, and sitting with any emotion that comes up before asking someone else for advice, that is something that has been a challenge for me. Like, not, I don't know, it's every day I work on that, okay? Every day.
I was going to ask you, like, now in your day-to-day, how does that come up for you?
So I used to, like, be very, like, reliant and codependent on Sophie and basically on everybody, which is awful. It's an awful thing to be for me. I'm not saying it's awful in general. I don't think it's the best way to go about things. And I'm not gonna say anyone's bad for having those habits because they were adopted in a time when you need to survive. But I was codependent on Sophie for a lot. So I don't speak to Sophie during the day at all anymore. I will message her maybe once and send a message if it's something important, or just send like a GIF if something comes up and Sophie needs some sort of like comedic relief, like the GIFs between each other. So it comes up in me actually being like, if something comes up, do I need to respond to this? I ask myself, do I need to respond to this email? Do I want to respond to this message? What am I making this thing mean in my mind if something comes up that's a triggering thought? Like, am I trusting that there's not a lion out there that, again, like these words are just words and not me being attacked by a saber tooth or something. So I think in day-to-day life, it's actually me just being like, yeah, I've got to change this energy and these thoughts in my mind, like, away from getting validation or asking you or anyone else, what should I do? Should I do that? Do you think I should go to this thing? Do you think I should speak to this person? Do you think I should... It could be anything, basically, but it just shows up in me actually just, like, genuinely asking myself what it is that I need for me. Did I answer that question?
Yeah, you did.
That was a long-winded way. But how do you feel like self-trust shows up for you now, and how do you, like, lean into it?
Trusting my gut. Trusting my gut. I never ever used to rely on I didn't listen to my intuition. I didn't know what my intuition even felt like, sounded like. For me, everything was filtered through an avoidant lens. Every single thought I had, every decision I made was filtered through, how do I protect myself from getting hurt? How do I keep everyone and everything at arm's bay, including my own emotions?
Right.
But now I lean into what my gut is telling me. If my gut is saying, I don't know about this, then that is the answer.
Right.
I don't know, or no. Like, no always felt like an unsafe thing to say because it would invite further investigation, further questions. Now, fine, okay, ask. So now I don't have that fear of giving an answer because I know where it comes from, and it's not being filtered through something insecure that I thought, I was convinced was my shield and armor. But what is actually my shield and armor? It's my intuition. It's my gut. I always say to Nai, my gut is telling me, yeah. My gut is telling me no. And then I go with it with full confidence, full chest.
That is what self-trust is. Like going with what you feel 110% because you feel it.
100%.
Because it doesn't matter about what anyone else does, because it's that when you don't have it, it skews your perception of everything around you. And I feel like both insecure attachments have that, where it's like, if I put my trust in someone else, then that's protecting me. It's not, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you didn't trust your intuition, whatever the fuck that meant, then that's keeping you safe. But it's actually always actively doing the opposite.
It's so true.
And even these questions we're asking each other, sometimes I still struggle to answer them. Like, what does self-trust mean? That's a big question.
It is.
And I feel like you have to be, and people have to be at a certain level in their maybe growth or healing journey to ask themselves those questions, especially when you've come from an insecure attachment, because it's very confronting.
Yes, it is.
Because the idea of like having an insecure attachment is being like, I can't change this thing, or you don't want to, or you convince yourself I can't change. Because I convinced myself I couldn't change. You was like, I'm avoiding, I don't want to change. So it's like, when you actually have to ask yourself like, what does trusting oneself actually consist of? Then you actually have to get real with yourself and those around you.
And also, like, this just came to my mind. Trusting that if something goes wrong, the world won't collapse around you.
And you're going to be okay. Like, you've always said that to me. You're like, nah, you're always going to be alright, Like, Self says, I don't worry about you. Like, yes, I worry about you, but they're always going to be okay. And that's trusting in something outside of yourself.
Yeah, but I didn't trust myself. All those times that I would say that to you.
That's
and
crazy.
I felt it with so much chest. I still feel it.
You felt it for me, right?
But
yeah,
for myself, I wouldn't have been able to tell you. I would have said to you, if you would have asked me, I probably wouldn't have answered. But
no, you would not have.
I probably would have said anything outside of what I'm doing now is not going to work. And that's not trusting that me, myself, Sophie, have got myself, even though I already thought I did.
That's funny, even though you thought you did. Do you know what's funny? Like, trust and like spirituality go hand in hand. And I feel like in day-to-day life, just generally, because I feel like if you are spiritual and people say trust the timing of the universe, and I always just question myself, and I was like, well, I trust the universe, but then I wouldn't, because I'd panic about every single thing. So how am I trusting that what's meant to happen will happen? How am I meant to trust that what's for me will not pass me by when I'm constantly spinning in a loop in my head of, oh, what if it doesn't happen? What if this? Because everything was just like, there was a fire in everything when there wasn't. So it's like, how am I saying I'm trusting when I'm not? Because I can't trust myself, because I ask other people what they think about situations pertaining to me. So it's like, I've had to learn to become, it's like being aware and being in alignment with, if I then say that I trust like a higher being, the universe, my path, then that means also leaning and trusting myself. As scary as it is to do so when you haven't done so for how many years of your life, which I hadn't done. And I was just like, kind of being like, you know what, I'm just like a participant in my own, I felt like a spectator.
That's so funny. It's exactly the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Crazy.
And I'll say, as your platonic soulmate.
Period.
Now, seeing you go through that process of not seeking the answers from other people, not asking me, Sophie, what should I do? You ask me, Sophie, what do you think?
Oh my gosh, I do.
Yeah. Again, that just came to me.
Oh my gosh, because I didn't realise until you just said it.
Yeah. You always say, oh, Sophie, what do you think? And my rebuttal question is always, but what do you think?
Yeah.
Cause
I mean, I'm still not there yet, because me asking I always ask opinions, but I want to do it less. So that's good that you put it out, because I'd be like, so what should I do? As if she could tell me. So that's a really good
But in a avoidant, anxious friendship, the avoidant will decide, instead of saying, actually, what do you think you should do?
Yeah.
Will say, well, this is what I would do, as a way to answer, but also not answer.
Yeah.
Well, I can only tell you what I would do. Now, I don't tell, unless we get to that point in the conversation where you're like, well, Sophie, what, in this situation, what would you do?
Yeah.
And I know you're not asking me because you want me to tell you what to do.
No.
You're just interested in
your
how it would play
perspective.
out. Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you're an avoidant and just sitting in the silence, if someone is telling you what's going on with them, instead of trying to be like, oh, well, do this and it will be okay, just giving that space for you to be, and not trying to fix, and trusting yourself that if you don't give an answer, again, the world won't collapse around you. It's okay to allow someone to just speak their thoughts and leave it there. You know?
One thing that Sophie, we can just talk about this a little bit, is when Sophie was like mega avoidant, she used to say, oh, I trust you more than I love you. And he said the other day that you're learning that it's about the same. Do you want to dive into that?
Back in the days of yore, when I was super avoidant, the idea that you could love someone but let them down didn't make... No, okay. Thank you, though. That didn't make any sense to me.
Okay.
If I trust you, that means more than love, because I've loved... People have said they love me, but then they've let me down. I love people that I don't trust. So in my avoidant brain, that didn't make any sense.
Right.
But if I trust you,
that means
that's more significant than love. That's what I used to think. Just put it out there. I don't think that way anymore. I think trust and love go hand in hand. But I think that's only come from the fact that I now trust myself. So I know what actual trust looks like.
Yeah.
And I love myself now, so I know what actual love looks like. And to me, they're equivalent.
Yeah.
They're on the same level.
Yeah.
There are people that I love that there are levels to trust.
Yeah. That
you'll get to this certain level of trust, but I wouldn't trust you with X or Y.
Oh my gosh, speaking of that, Sophie and I, when we were deep in Insecure, something has just come to me now. It's weird when we start talking, not weird, wild things pop up. I used to be the person that was, I don't trust anybody. It was, I don't trust anybody, give me a reason to trust you. That was me. And Sophie was, I trust you until you give me a reason not to. And that's like the dichotomy of having insecure attachment, because neither of them are healthy.
No.
I don't think.
No.
But you have to
trust has to be earned.
Yeah, but you also have to trust yourself to even be able to get to that place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even you said trust had to be earned, and I agree now, but in the past it was like, I don't trust you anyway from the jump. So you can't earn it.
But then I think...
That's how it was.
But then I think, going back to our earlier argument, right, I don't think we trusted each other.
No, we didn't. No, of course
so
not.
I think that is how we used to trigger each other.
Oh my gosh,
and I don't think we trigger each other as much now, because we trust ourselves, so therefore we trust each other.
Wow.
That just came to me.
That's so true. Because that is...
I did not trust that you weren't a weapon formed against me.
And you couldn't earn my trust. No matter what you did. So,
exactly.
Wow. So that is...
Yeah.
Wow! What a good subject to speak on this. Sorry, we've like unlocked...
Whoa.
Yeah, we've unlocked so much. Wow. How do you all feel about trust? Do you trust yourself? What does trust look like to you? Thank you so much. What does trust... I will. What does trust look like to you? I'd say, do you trust yourself? And what does that even mean? Because trust means different things to everybody.
Trust is a huge thing.
Yeah.
But trusting self, I think people seek to, how do I trust somebody else? Without asking yourself, do I trust me? Do I trust my ability to make decisions for myself
that are going to be in the betterment of me,
in
spite of how anyone else could feel? Or in spite of if they could potentially leave. That was also the fear, wasn't it? For both of us.
Yeah.
Bruh.
The fear of abandonment.
Yeah, fear of rejection, my boy.
You're gonna. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, you're gonna.
So why does it even
So
matter?
what's the point?
Oh, that's a dreary way to live, boy. We really were
Yeah.
like living in a space of not trusting self. And once you actually do trust yourself, it's very, very freeing. I'm stepping into it. I do believe that Sophie's a little further along when it comes to like trusting herself. I'm getting there. I'm getting there because I do feel like I'm not gonna say it's harder for either one because I'm not avoidant, so I cannot say that. I just know that from my perspective, going from being incredibly anxious and trusting anything within yourself feels so foreign. So I'm in the process of doing so, but it's not the easiest path. But again, I 1,000 times take how I can regulate myself and feel how I do now than how I was before, because that was not a way to live.
No.
Anything else to add?
I just echo what you say. I would take.
Of course you do.
I would take feeling uncomfortable with, because I'll be honest, I still feel uncomfortable when I feel emotions. I feel less uncomfortable than I used to, but I trust now that it will be okay regardless, even if it's not okay. Do you know what I mean? Thank you.
Really wanted
God.
to confirm.
I just think trusting my intuition in terms of trusting my gut has been one of the biggest game changers for me.
When you think about it, when we just done this whole video and we don't really, how we still trigger each other, we don't really.
No.
The whole premise, we're doing the work, so we don't. So we haven't, like, things have come up, we discussed things coming up, but again, there's no follow on from the trigger.
No.
That makes...
It doesn't get acted out.
No, makes the behaviour make us want to be like, why are we moving that way? So we don't really trigger each
other. And I think that's because we trust each other. I
No.
trust that if something comes up, we will have a conversation.
And I trust that you will tell me if I have upset you in some way.
Yes.
Or I don't know if I like the way that you approach this or the way you spoke to me. And I'll be like, so if I feel like you're shutting down, you're being a bit dismissive. Do you know what I mean? I'm sensing a bit of, because we will. And there is no fear because I trust her and we trust each other. I trust me. She trusts she. Hey.
Yeah. And we trust we.
You're so on it. And if you're in a space of like not knowing what trusting yourself looks like, be patient and find ways to figure out what trust means to you. Like, it doesn't matter about what anyone else thinks. Just figure out what trust means for you, for yourself first. That's the most important thing. Nothing can grow without trust.
Nothing. And also trust that even if you make a decision and you feel like it's the wrong decision, at least you made a decision for yourself.
From a place of trust.
From a place of trusting yourself.
You also can't go wrong by trusting your gut.
No, you can't.
You can't lead you astray by listening to your actual inner self. You cannot. The only reason why we feel like we get led astray is because we go against our own knowing, and when we know. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm convinced of that, actually.
I am now, for sure. The only reason why there's turmoil and why we would feel any form of like is because we're going against what we know to be true for ourselves, but we're trying to please other people.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so we're putting other people before us, so that's why our body's like, what? And then we ignore it. This is why we ignore red flags. Yeah. And then we're like, why am I uncomfortable? Because you will never be settled if you don't trust yourself and if you're in a situation not meant to be in.
Girl.
I said what I said.
Girl.
And I'm also learning that myself.
Girl.
And so is she.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to end this.
Wow, we really did our big one.
No, we did.
Oh.
We did.
Well done.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
And I'm proud of you guys.
You're doing great. And we love you.
We do.
And thank you for watching.
See you next time.
Peace.